So I think we need to make that particular point very clear. The people who have understood the terrain of the government of national unity as something else, we have always understood it in the ANC as a tactical intervention and not as a melting pot. We have understood that we are engaged in a process as a country with arch rivals, and so to say, with people that we don't agree with politically and ideologically. And it's not only the Bella Act, there will be other issues that we don't agree to. And we have actually said that those who occupy positions in the GNU will want to occupy those positions to demonstrate that they can do better. The ANC, with the largest, as the largest party in the GNU, has got the responsibility to demonstrate to South Africans that we can do things and work for communities and deliver for communities. And that is what is really important for us. So the Bella Act, there's been no doubt that our president is directed and at the same time is a person with a vision of understanding what it means to work for unity in our country. So anyone who wishes to claim easy victories outside the proper understanding of where the ANC is going, it's just populism, simple. There's not been any doubt about the terrain in our movement and the organization. So there are people who want to become superheroes and who become super revolutionaries. We allow them the space because the ANC ngugalele bhayini. But we have never been in doubt about this leadership and where it is taking us to, because it draws direction from the collective wisdom of our movement. The DA is doing what it's supposed to do as an opposition party. We can't, every time Helen opens a mouth and speak, we run after her. She's doing what she's mandated to do from the point of view of their constituency. They organized a march there at Voortrekker Hoogte, a big march there, mobilizing their communities and all of that. It is them. It reflects on them, AfriForum and all of that. We stand for what we want to stand for, non-racialism and unity of the South African people. And that's what we stand for. We are for transformation, not for superior exclusion of one group at the expense of the other. Nelson Mandela said it from the dock: I fought white domination. And therefore I stand against black domination. We stand for non-racialism. That's what we stand for as the African National Congress. What other political parties do around us is what they do. It reflects on them. We will fight for what is right, transformation in this country, equality for all in our nation. And that is what we stand for as the African National Congress. So there's no confusion on our part. Political parties will speak for themselves and what they stand for and what they stand to gain from their own perspectives. But we stand for the people of this country, and the perspectives that we stand for are the perspectives that you don't change when the weather has changed and tomorrow you speak a different language. You stand for what you believe in, and our strategy and tactics is our guide in relation to what we are pursuing. That is why we have never been confused. That GNU can never be a strategic goal, it's a tactical maneuver. And if you say to us, the DA have accepted to participate is a sellout position, then you are getting it wrong, comrades. That's what we have been saying. You are getting it wrong. From a point of view of just pure strategy and tactics, you are getting it wrong because it's a tactical maneuver. We didn't want to go for any of the options of coalitions. Coalition of grand coalition, coalition of minority governance and all of that. We went for a broader approach. And others decided not to participate in it. We've got 10 political parties that are part of this GNU. And others, for political expedience and trying to attack the ANC ideologically, have said that, no, this is a coalition between the DA and the ANC. We have not been bothered about that because we believe in the principle. And at the end of the day, what is that principle? Is a guide of the strategy and tactics. We are actually addressed by people who don't know what they stand for as political parties. People who just follow an individual, who follow a person and believed in a person. We follow time-tested strategy and tactics approach of the African National Congress. And that is what we believe in. It will live beyond Ramaphosa as our president to the next generation. It is refined from time to time, from conference to conference, in relation to how we adapt as a party, in relation to the conditions that we face. We do not believe to be in the position that we are in forever. We want to come back. We will rebuild the ANC to be a stronger party, and that is what we are embarking upon as an organization and what we are doing today. Gender-based violence, it's a community program. It starts with me and you. Somebody can be talking as a politician, as a businessman, but abusing a woman. The acts of violence and the killing we have seen are a shock to our nation. You sit with somebody here, tomorrow they wake up, he have killed his girlfriend or his woman, in terms of his wife and so on. So it's a societal issue that we need to attend to as families. As families, we need to champion the cause. And as men, we must act as an example. We must also work on the upbringing of young men. There is a problem in terms of the upbringing of young men who believe that women are a possession, are an object, that you own a woman. It's a psychological problem. You don't own a woman. It's a problem of our society in terms of patriarchy, the dominance of men over women, and that the emancipation of women means freedom for women. It doesn't mean that a woman is a possession. When you buy a woman, your girlfriend and everything, a car and all of that, when the relationship comes to an end, you think that you own that particular person. It's not. Women are not a commodity. They are human beings. They give birth to us. We need to work on the psychology of men. When you give something to your girlfriend, you think that you hold it against her. Even if you come to disintegration, it's done. Gender-based violence is happening right among us, and is pursued by men. Still, namadod. See it as a gender-based violence. We believe that we own women. Women are a possession to us. It's a struggle that we must lead as the ANC, as a society as a whole. That's where we must come together, irrespective of political party affiliation. We must lead a struggle to conscientize young men. I've got a young man in my household. How that young man is going to grow up and become a man in society is important. It's important because he can grow up and become an animal when I'm no longer there, and become something else that does not respect a woman and all of that, and think that a woman is a possession, is a commodity, is an object. Dinayo lento inhle ihlala pha kwami. I can do as I wish. Where now you've got the right to do all the wrong things in life. A woman does not have a right to express her full potential in life. It's something he plompot or he chonga apparently. So we need to conscientize society. It starts with me and you. And the battle must be fought among our young men. That's where the challenge is. They kill women willy-nilly at a go. And that's what actually happens. So this struggle, those perpetrators must be brought to book, but over and above that, we must lead this struggle. As political parties, as human beings, as leaders, we must lead this particular struggle against gender-based violence. Mtunzi, the SACP and us is an ongoing engagement. We will engage on the issue of the SACP resolution. As the ANC, we have not taken any decision or reflected on this. We are going to do that. We are going to Cape Town, January 8. We believe in the alliance. The alliance was not brought together by personalities. It was brought together by a common program called the National Democratic Revolution. And if today there is a decision like that, it's going to have an impact on the NDR. It's going to have an impact on alliance relations. Our political education department, David Makura, I assigned him a task and the department that by next year when we meet, I need a paper to be presented to the officials and to the NEC on the implications of this decision. We've got an appointment with the SACP in a bilateral. How is this going to happen? These are some of the questions we must answer. We don't believe in this thing of the party contesting ourselves. We don't agree with that. And when we met with them, we cautioned them against that. So we're going to engage on that with the SACP. ENCA, DA minister, yes, it's a DA minister leading, but in a government of national unity. So ministers do as government prescribe. If you don't implement an act, you will be dismissed by the president. And it doesn't, ministers behave the same. So you are not, when you are in cabinet, you are serving at the behest of the president. So I don't think we'll get to that particular situation. I think we'll move ahead and this will be done. Of course, there's been distortions in the media about the fact that this bill will not be implemented in its entirety. No, there's no such. There's no such. Fake news is trafficking. It's been trafficked all over social media platforms, WhatsApp groups, the most bored people, WhatsApp groups. They lie to each other with impunity. You know, they just lie. I saw something circulating about Comrade Mavuso. I mean, I said Matlengi and Comrade Mavuso must issue a statement on that. Just fabricating that Comrade Mavuso attacked the SG and the president. It doesn't work like that. That's the stalwart veteran of our movement. So I spoke to him this morning and he was outraged. So they manufacture fake news on a daily basis. You know, they can just change your surname Mtunzi now and call you something. And then and it moves fast because it's holidays now. They drink on those WhatsApp groups. They get intoxicated and believe their own propaganda. So that's why I'm not a member of a WhatsApp group. So people send me these things and so on. So that's what happens. So Khayelitsha has been our first choice. We are going to Khayelitsha. We are not going to DHL. We are not going to Athlone Stadium. We are going to the township. That's where we are going. We are going to our people. We are going to our people to connect with our people because we have realized in the last election that there will be no stronger ANC if it does not connect with its base. We are who we are because of the working class as the motive force, primary motive force of the national democracy. We are where we are because of our people. Our people do not abandon the ANC, they just don't go and vote. And they don't vote for other political parties. So we are going to celebrate January 8th, 113 with the people. We'll move from Khayelitsha Stadium to Rance. You know Rance in Cape Town? It's gonna be happening. You are all invited. It's gonna be a humdinger, like never been seen before. It's gonna be a razzmatazz in Khayelitsha. It's happening. So all of us will be there in a week's time, 2 weeks' time. We'll be in Khayelitsha. So Khayelitsha has been the first choice. So I'm not going to stand here and tell you that we wanted Cape Town Stadium and George Hill refused. No, we never asked. Athlone Stadium, George Hill refused. No, we went to Khayelitsha from the onset. From the onset. So it's a decision, conscious, we have taken. We're going to Cape Town, and in Cape Town, we're going to Khayelitsha. That's where we're going to celebrate 113 years of the African National Congress. And President Ramaphosa will deliver the statement of the ANC from Khayelitsha Stadium on the 11th of January. That's where we will be. So thank you very much, and we wish everybody a prosperous new year.